Hi guys, welcome to another thrilling episode of Hotspot with Loveth and Favor, your ultimate destination for spicy and hot gossip, movie insights, and celebrity updates. Today, this channel is diving into the latest blockbuster that's sending shocking waves through Prime Video, the one and only Breath of Life. I am Loveth, and before we unravel the details of this cinematic masterpiece, please do us a favor and hit that subscribe button to become part of our YouTube family. We promise you wouldn't want to miss the sizzling gist, updates, and movie reviews that we bring to you straight from the screens. All right, let's jump right into the heart of this cinematic gem. Breath of Life is a creation of the brilliant mind of B.B. Sasori, who is the writer and director of this movie, and it was produced by none other than Eku Edewor. Released on December 15, 2023, Breath of Life is a faith-based film that takes us on a journey through the 1950s to the 1960s, set in the enchanting city of Ibadan. The movie features the likes of Wale Ojo, Chimezie Imo, Demola Adedoyin, Genoveva Ume, Eku Edewor, Sam Dede, Bimbo Manuel, Sambasa Nzeribe, and Tina Mba, amongst many others. The film opens with a glimpse into the future where a woman accompanies a man in a wheelchair as they separately observe a small graveyard. The narrator introduces Ayodele Timileyin Johnson, an exceptional young man who astonishingly held his breath underwater for 57 minutes and 18 seconds, breaking the Guinness record. The story then unfolds in the 1950s, portraying the remarkable life of a young Timmy, portrayed by Ademola Adedoyin. The remarkable Timmy Johnson, who is fluent in 16 languages, including 4 extinct ones, finds joy in rewriting the holy books in various languages. His achievements extend beyond academic excellence as he graduates at the top of his class, emerges as the most outstanding candidate in the British Navy, and achieves the remarkable feat of holding his breath underwater for a record-breaking 57 minutes and 18 seconds. Additionally, he becomes the first African to attain the position of clergyman in the Great Church of England. After marrying his heartthrob, Bridget, played by Eku Edewor, and having a beautiful daughter, Timmy decided to return to his community in Nigeria as a wealthy clergy. For a while, his new life in the village was very much perfect and he was enjoying his stay with his beautiful family. However, this beautiful situation of his takes a turn for the worse one fateful day in the village. A local thug and his gang invade, creating chaos and killing an elderly man. The villagers resist and involve the colonial police and the judicial system. However, none of them was ready to testify against Babyfire, the leader of the gang. Timmy, witnessing how Babyfire murdered this man, unaware that his decision would become his worst nightmare, volunteered to testify against Babyfire. Timmy's wife tried to deter him, but he believed that he had this course to fulfill, hoping to get justice for the villagers. Timmy testifies against Babyfire. However, the corrupt colonial judge dismisses the charges, citing a lack of evidence. This is actually because Babyfire was hired by the colonial leftovers to create chaos in the community and eliminate anyone who was against them. This verdict by the corrupt judge left Timmy and his family's lives in imminent danger. Timmy, knowing that his family was in danger, decided to let his wife and his daughter leave for Lagos while he stayed back to face whatever was coming. Babyfire was, however, steps ahead as he intersects the wife and drove her to where they had captured Timmy, burning his wife and child to death. And this ultimately reshapes the life of Reverend Timmy. After lying several days at that same spot where his wife and child were murdered, he got up one day and Timmy the clergyman, who once questioned the necessity of a gun when one has God, is compelled to abandon God and pick up his gun and eliminate Babyfire in the same manner his wife and child were eliminated, and Timmy totally lost his faith in God. He attempted to take his own life multiple times through different means, but to no avail. Apparently, it wasn't his time to go yet. The story then jumps 35 years ahead, introducing a Elijah Odudu Abasi Okon, a recent NYSC graduate with aspirations to establish his church. Facing unemployment and financial need, Elijah applies for a housekeeping position at Timmy's residence following the death of Timmy's butler, who was Timmy's only remaining family. The story then delves into the dynamics between Timmy, a bitter former reverend who has abandoned his faith, and Elijah, a young man in search of purpose. As Elijah assumes his new role, the looming questions become: how will he navigate the challenges in a household haunted by the past, marked by tragedy and loss? What destiny awaits him in the home of a once devout pastor and reverend who has renounced his belief in God? He meets with Timmy's lawyer, who warned him against mentioning the name God in the house and also mentioning anything about family. Elijah, while working for Timmy, didn't just see him as an employer, but as a father. He felt and shared his pain. Elijah was battling a severe lung disease, thinking it was asthma, and managing it with an inhaler. He labored breathing and nervousness, especially around the stern Timmy and the bold Amma, his love interest, which made him reach out for his inhaler frequently. Elijah revives the church, sparking Timmy's anger. However, a challenge from Timmy to find a Bible verse changes things, and Elijah was allowed to freely operate the church. As the church gained momentum, Timmy's disapproval softened. Trouble, however, brews when the father of Elijah's love interest tries to bring down the church, but Timmy steps in with a legal help. As the movie progressed, while Elijah's love interest, Amma, tried to get him to sleeping with her in order to leave her father no choice but to approve their relationship, Elijah runs out of breath and had no inhaler to resuscitate him. Timmy and Anna rushed him to the hospital, where it was shockingly revealed that he had a terminal lung disease, which was misdiagnosed for asthma, and he had only a few days left to live. Timmy, who had come to love Elijah as his own son, had sworn that Elijah was never going to die before him. In a desperate attempt to save Elijah, Timmy approached grieving families, imploring them to consider donating their deceased loved one's lungs, but his efforts were in vain. Faced with the dire situation, Timmy turns to prayer, pleading with God to take his life so that he can join his family and exchange his lungs for Elijah in order for Elijah to live. Apparently, God answered his prayers and the doors shut itself and the Bible pages flipping. We see Timmy next rushed into the theater. Meanwhile, Timmy had already formalized adoption of Elijah by going to the orphanage where he grew to complete the adoption processes and also signed all of his wealth to Elijah. Elijah wakes up, and when he asks of his father, Timmy, he was only left with a note from him, which broke his heart. Elijah, now a wealthy man, marries his love interest, Anna, played by none other than Genoveva Ume. As Timmy had written in his letter, Anna's father would have no problem with him being with his daughter so long as he now had lots of money. And yes, guys, Elijah lived happily ever after with Anna, making a beautiful family, and it turned out to be that Elijah is the narrator of this interesting movie. And guys, we bring this video to an end at this juncture. And the next episode will be a character analysis and the general movie analysis, where I will be talking about the props, the setting, and every beautiful thing that made this movie an outstanding and beautiful one. I cannot say all of those here in order to not elongate this video and make you bored. So catch me in the next episode where I talk about the characters and the general movie analysis. Till the next episode, it is a bye for now. Please do well to subscribe to this channel, like and share this video as well. And thanks for listening.